Alright guys, here we are back on NR2003, continuing the Whelen modified season mode here today. Excited for this one. We're going to New Hampshire, my favorite. It's the only Cup Series track actually on the Whelen modified schedule here. So we're going to be doing 31 laps. We are lucky to have a 2019 version of New Hampshire here. 38 AI opponents, so we have a big field on 97 difficulty. All the usual settings here. Let's go ahead and get a quick standings update, and then we'll jump into the garage, talk setup. We'll get this race started. Alright, so we get a quick standings update here. Swanson now your leader, followed by Silk Pitcat. Doug Kobe drops to 4th after his bizarre performance at Riverhead, followed by Justin Bonsignor, Emmerling, Goodale, Blewett, Lutz, Barney, and we still sit in 11th, 73 points back now. Still only 3 top 10s on the season, so let's see if we can do a bit better here today and maybe start making our way up the standings. Go ahead and jump into the garage now and take a look at the setup for this race. Alright, so welcome on into the garage. This has been a hell of a car to set up. For the first time maybe ever in NR2003, I thought this car was undrivably loose on the default fast setup. I hated driving it at the start, so I've probably changed almost every setting here. I even resorted to raising the ride height at the back to try and get the rear of the car up into the air, to get some rear downforce, to keep the damn back end of the car from spinning out. That's how upset I am with this thing. But actually, I think we got a fairly drivable car now at this point. So yeah, this is all the stuff I've changed here. I also even addressed the steering ratio, lowered that a little bit, as I had quite a time trying to get this thing to operate the way I like it around here. And that's down to personal preference as well. I mean, I tend to like a fairly loose car, but I could just not get the thing to settle in the corners and rotate without spinning out. So yeah, this is what we're going to run with. Let's go ahead and hop out on the track and get some qualifying. Alright, so it's time to qualify here at New Hampshire. We got this lovely 2019 version of the track here. This car can still jump out and bite me if I'm not careful on the throttle. It is still a little bit oversteery at times. It just really feels like the back end of the car and the front end are not even in the same universe. Like, they do not want to work together, but see what we can do here. I think we have a fairly decent pace. It's all about being consistent, putting in a good lap time. We're going to kind of try and run the middle in the corners and let it just drift high on the exits. These corners are so long around here in New Hampshire and flat. It's almost like a multi-stage corner. You have to like play with the throttle and the brake to get the thing to turn, and you don't want to miss it high like that. We went a little bit wide there. That's alright. We carried good momentum around the top side. See how we stack up here. Hopefully we can be a bit better in 3 and 4. Yeah, actually get it slowed down. And yeah, you see me working to counter steer it the second I feel it start to slip out, because man, it'll come out and bite you real quick like I mentioned. So let's see how that time stacks up. Probably not going to be too good. Yeah, 32nd on lap 1. Try and be a little bit better here. Still went a tiny bit wide in 1 and 2. Able to hold decent momentum. Just gotta wait for it to settle in there on the exit, because you can be spinning on the exit of the corners pretty bad here. I targeted the exit of the corner a lot with my adjustments, so I felt it was super loose out. And that was probably a bit better of a lap, so let's see how we go here.
Alright, there's the checkered flag.
Yes, a 30.8, well better, and we are in mid-pack, 16th position. Not a bad qualifying position, I'm quite happy with that. Let's go ahead and jump into the race, and I will see you guys there.
Drivers, start your engines!
Alright guys, it is race time here at New Hampshire. 31 laps ahead of us here, starting in 16th position. Hope you guys are excited for this race. I am very much excited for this one. As I mentioned in the top of this episode, this car is very unruly around here, and I've worked hard to get it to where I think it's decently drivable, but this might get ugly. So if you are new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing and that you enjoy this race. You're going to see the best of me in this race, I'm sure. Terrible driving, complaining, you know, being slow. I think this is going to be a great representation of everything that I stand for, so strap in, boys, because this is going to be a tough race. And I am sorry if I sound a little bit nasally. Been having a bit of allergies. I always do at this time of the year, so hopefully I'm not too congested sounding. Waited a bit on recording until my nose cleared up. got Ryan Preece in this race ahead of us. He's going to be on the outside, so we're going to try and dive it up the inside here. Not really comfortable running this bottom part of the groove too much.
Keep low.
I feel like it gets pretty unsettled on the exit of the corner, but able to hang decently there. We should clear him on entry and make our first pass of the race up into the top 15. So I feel the most comfortable running this outer part of the groove where I'm at right now. I think that's the best way that this car wants to make it around this track. In practice, that's really what I found to be the key, is just let the car do what it wants to do. Don't try and force it to drive where it doesn't want to drive. So we'll see how well we can manage that. Make a move on the outside of Emmerling here for 14th. So we're pretty good on entry mid. It's just this exit part that's a bit sketchy. As you see, it starts to get all out of sorts. Managed to bring it together. Should be able to clear here in one. A little bit wide that time. Bring it back down. Try and carry the momentum out there as we're getting about 45 degrees sideways on the exit of 2. Same thing in turn 3, we'll just try and clear. Going a little bit wide again. Not quite clear still from Emmerling. Spotter's going back and forth, which is it? This time we should have him cleared, as we just managed to get past him there, and we will clear ourselves off now, so up into 14th, good stuff. So if we can't get Rocco now. Man, it got, ooh, little kiss of the wall right there, just the tiniest little tapper. So you see, we just climb right up to that back bumper in the middle of the corner, but then off we are losing out. It's unfortunate at a track with such long straights. That is not where you want to be bad off the corner. Rocco with a bad run there, so we're going to be able to get to the inside. See what I can do down here, not too confident. Will manage to roll it clear. Just slide up in front of him. Alright, so that'll be lucky number 13. Next up, Doug Kobe. We've been able to just focus on what's ahead of us here today. Yeah, I just feel like this thing is like on its tippy toes on the exit of the corner. It feels so skittish. It's unbelievable. You know, when I get to complaining about cars, it reminds me of in this game Motorsport Manager. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. It's a really fun kind of racing strategy management game. But your drivers have ratings in that game, and one of the ratings they have is the feedback they give. And I would say my feedback rating is pretty low. I'm not too good at giving good feedback. I just like to make up like hyperboles, I guess would be the word, about like I'm so dramatic about how the car is. Like I gotta make up some poetic, like, oh, it's skittish, it feels like it's on its tippy toes, I'm driving over ice cubes, and my crew chief is like, what is this guy talking about? But, you know, I think a true mark of skill for a race car driver is just how some of these guys I see are able to adapt to what is going on with a car, you know. The car's understeery, oversteery, they can adjust their driving to still be fast with that condition. I think that's, you know, what really sets people apart, their adaptability. Or, you know, you see, since sim racing is so big at the moment, you see all these pro guys jumping in on iRacing and driving a car they've never driven before, and they're still pretty fast, you know. It's just crazy to see how those guys are just like on a different level. They're just a cut above. And I'm out here grinding in the mid-pack, just trying to hang on at New Hampshire. But, you know, I'm starting to get more confident with how this car's feeling. We're running pretty good. I would take a 13th all day around here. I think we can get a bit more. You know, top 10 is well within hand's reach now.
20 laps to go.
And 11 laps in. Just gonna be careful. We got a good gap behind us. Kobe's gonna just about clear Catalano here. Not quite clear of him. Be careful here, as they're going to be slowing each other up quite a bit, being side by side. See where the advantage goes. It will go to Kobe. It's going to bring the guys behind right back into it, but Kobe will get clear. See if we can't get to the outside. Not quite. That's where I want to do it if I can. Really good run.
Inside.
We are going to dive it late to the outside here.
Stay high.
I mean, obviously, it'd probably be a bit easier to try and make the pass on the inside, but I just don't feel nearly as confident driving the car down there.
Still there.
I'd rather not wreck as a first goal.
Still there. Clear.
We will clear here, so we are strong on entry mid. Just got to hold it on the exit, and we do. Up into 12th, good stuff. Try and put a gap behind us again and fight our way back up to Kobe. As they are battling behind, so that will help us out. A little bit wide that time, unfortunately. Just gonna try and hang it here on the top part of this groove. Pretty much losing the slipstream of the guys ahead. That's not a huge deal here, but it is more so than any other modified track on the schedule. It's a bit of a train ahead of me. Doesn't look like... Yeah, everybody's for the most part single file except for the ones at the head of the group, which is great. That's exactly what you want to see. Just allows everybody to drop back to me here. I know Kobe is so fast, so it's going to be tough to make a move on him. As we already saw, he can hang pretty good on the inside. He made that move on Catalano. Just really don't like Pasteryak being that close behind me. So I do want to make a move. I got the threat of him as Kobe slides up a little bit there, right in front of me just about. Kind of killed my momentum. Got good run here. We're going to try our luck down here.
Keep low. Clear outside.
Just about going to clear him. We'll try and slide up the track. Pasteryak comes on through with me. We're up into 11th now. Great drive up to this point. This is dicey up ahead. Lots of spots available. Just don't want to get over ambitious with this thing. This Pasteryak will now look to the inside. We're going to take it down here as well. And make sure that he can't.
Car outside.
He tried to wreck me. I had to just jump on the brakes.
Car inside.
Put it right in the back of me. That's gross. Right when I said that, I regretted it.
Keep high.
And that allows Kobe to get past, and we are back to where we started, at least in this sequence. Pasteryak, though, still with a look on the inside, so
Still there.
try and hold it.
Clear inside. Inside. Clear inside.
Dude, Pasteryak just gave me the big chrome horn last lap. I just about did it for me. I just jumped on the brakes and tried to straighten it out. Thankfully, I was able to hold it together. Like I mentioned, you know, this thing is so, you know, on its tiptoes that a little bit of unsettling like that is all it takes. Not even sure how bad a contact we really made, but really put the car off. Ramo is super slow there on the bottom, so we're going to take it to the outside. Kobe clears him on the outside.
Clear inside.
We will as well. Maybe issues with that car. A new 11th now, top 10 lurking as we are down to 10 to go.
10 more to go.
Sure, we got New Hampshire at least once more on the schedule, so, and coming back here. It's gonna be nervous, especially if it's pretty late in the season, which I think it is. Even at this point, we're already past halfway. And let's see what we can do here with 9 laps left. Kobe very slow mid-corner, just the slightest tap of his back bumper. And you see him pull me on the straight. Pretty good there. Just not able to deliver the power as well as they can. It's alright. Just gonna bide my time, look for the chance.
Car inside.
Go be a little bit slow there
Keep high.
on the bottom. We're gonna wing it to the outside, try and hold it.
Clear.
Not quite, but we compromised his run a tiny bit.
Car inside.
It's gonna allow us to dive outside again.
Stay high.
This time we
Clear
will
inside.
clear at least mid-corner. Can we see it through on the straight? We will. Alright, top 10, boys. Let's go.
You're in the top 10. Car inside.
And to the outside of Barney.
Still there.
Give him room as he was really shallow on the entry there.
Keep high.
Oh man, it started to...
Inside.
it tried to kick out on me. Just brought it back.
Inside.
And again to the outside of
Keep
Barney.
high.
Come on, baby.
Still there.
Oof.
Clear.
I think these tires are starting to go pretty bad. Yeah, fairly good amount of wear
Inside.
in this run.
Clear. Car inside.
I don't know that there's any way I could keep the tires good with how this car feels around here.
Stay high.
We are at Barney's door now.
Still there.
Off into 3, we're about even.
Still there.
See the comeback on the exit of the corner, and that's not what you want when you're on that outside lane.
More to go. Car inside.
5 laps left.
Keep high. Stay high.
Trying to pinch him down as much as I can, but it's really dangerous in these cars. We've seen lots of incidences of people pinging off each other, just the way the contact works on NR2003 with these cars on these physics. But we do clear, and we are up into 9th now. We have a bit of gap. I'm gonna run as fast as I can to get away from those guys behind me. And top 5 up there with Wade Cole. Good to see it. Oh, God. Pasteryak has been lurking in my rearview mirror pretty much the entirety of this race. Just gonna try and run from him as much as I can. We're coming down to the end of it here. I believe that would be 3 to go right there. Still some positions up for grabs. Summers is on the inside. We're going to try and dive it to the outside. We do. Oh man, it almost wrecked on entry right there. As I started to get off the brakes, it really unsettled it.
Clear inside.
Ah, little
Just 2 to go.
wall contact
Car
there.
inside. Keep
Just
high.
cosmetic, of course. Definitely not destroying this
Keep
car.
high.
Oh man.
Stay high.
I thought it was bad in the short run. This thing is all over in the long run. We're gonna come to get the white flag though.
Inside. Stay high.
Can we hang on to 8th? We're going to have to wing it around the outside. Usually not what you want to do on NR2003, but here for me, it's the way to go. So we'll clear for the moment, but he's going to come back. So I am sawing the wheel back and forth. Alright, we are clear, just got to hold it right here. And I don't think I got him. Of course somebody would blow up right in front of me. Alright, well we finished 8th in that race. Hell of a drive on my part, in my opinion. As you see, the second I lose my focus, I wreck the car, but hey, we didn't need to make it any farther than that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this race. If you are new to the channel, like I mentioned, please help me out and subscribe. Also, go ahead and like and comment on this video as well, and I will see you guys in the next race.